All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people of us of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that gives you quality news and information on all the activities happening in Biafran territory. So, if this is your first time of joining us, you are highly welcome. But you'll be missing all the updated information. So scroll down and check our news, check our broadcast, check all the informations we've been dropping concerning Biafra, concerning Nnamdi Kanu, concerning the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, and concerning anything that pertains to the freedom of the people. Now, straight up to the issue, because the issue of Nnamdi Kanu has actually become a very critical issue, that has brought in a lot of concern both to the people of the zoo, the people in the homeland Biafraland, and also the people all over the world. In fact, international communities are very interested in the issue of Nnamdi Kanu and how it is being handled. Now, the information reaching me this morning is that because of the pressure that is being mounting on the federal government concerning Nnamdi Kanu and his release, the federal government is planning on releasing Nnamdi Kanu, but with a condition. I hope you got that. The federal government is planning on releasing Nnamdi Kanu, but with a condition. The condition, the issue will be discussed later on, but let us actually talk about this whole Nnamdi Kanu and the issue here. First of all, the Nnamdi Kanu in question is not even a terrorist. The Nnamdi Kanu in question is not one who committed any crime known by law. The alleged crimes that the Nigerian government are claiming that Nnamdi Kanu committed are just propaganda. They've not come out with any good fact. Nnamdi Kanu's case became, so political that the judge had to just, remove his hand from the case and tell them to that the only way that Nnamdi Kanu's case can be resolved is through political solution. Now, why is the federal government giving a condition to release an innocent man? Now, for only Nigeria, they see this kind of thing. Why are they giving condition to release an innocent man? A man who did not commit any crime known by their own law and international law. Despite all the whole accusations. Oh, Sunday Igboho was released some months back. There was no political condition or political solution was not. There was no condition whatsoever. Or should we start talking about the BH that have been released? But this is a man who, by law, has no business even being in DSS custody. This is a man, let's not forget though, that the same Nnamdi Kanu we're talking about is the same Nnamdi Kanu that, their own court, gave discharge and acquitted. So there is no point even holding him in the first place because a court of competent jurisdiction gave a ruling in his own favor. He was discharged. So why is Nnamdi Kanu? Why is the federal government planning on releasing Nnamdi Kanu with condition? Do not forget that what Biafrans are fighting for concerning Nnamdi Kanu, not about the freedom, concerning Nnamdi Kanu himself, is an unconditional release. not conditional release. Because what they will plan to do is, for him to exchange his freedom, he will be made to sign, something that will favor them, so that he can get his freedom. So it's as if he is buying his freedom. So why will he buy his freedom if he didn't commit any crime? And we fully know that he did not commit any crime. Though, the full fact about what the federal government is actually seeking is not really out. So I'm not going to spill it out till they come out with their full intention. Then we'll get to hear from Nnamdi Kanu and his lawyer, the agreement, before we can continue to dissect this matter. But meanwhile, this is the issue, the grand issue, and how so many of them have been lying, claiming that they are fighting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Enjoy this video and this broadcast, and please make sure, it is very important that you continue to share this broadcast, because we will do everything possible to continue to raise our voice, concerning the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. Enjoy, please.
We are going to make a pronouncement going by the title of the show, which says our next line of action as Nnamdi Kanu is set to be free. We will make a pronouncement. So let's continue.
Where? Okay. A communique issued today, 2nd July 2024, by the Southeast Governors Forum. The forum commiserated with the government and people of Abia State, Ebonyi, Imo State, indeed the entire Southeast region and Nigeria, and the family of Obonayono's family. The people of Obonayono's family on the demise of His Excellency Dr. Obonayo Onu. The forum received a delegation of the former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, Chief Emeka Nyoko, GCON, and His Royal Majesty Igwe Emeka Achebe, CFR, the Obi of Onitsha, who came on a solidarity visit to this forum.
They said they received the delegation from the former president, Obasanjo. I don't want to talk about that one because that is not the reason why I have come here this very evening. But Obasanjo has said that they never discussed about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So, I don't want to talk about it right now. So let's continue. And I don't even have to talk about it because it's a big shame.
The forum deliberated on the review the report of the Southeast Security and Economic Summit held in Owerri on the 28th September 2023 and agreed to implement the aspects of the report pertaining to security and economic integration of the region, and affirmed its desire to put actionable plans on the key issues agreed. The forum
on the key issues agreed. So what are these key issues? Can we know them, please?
Resolved to visit Mr. President to discuss the pressing issues.
Okay.
All pressing issues concerning the Southeast region.
Okay.
The forum also deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
Now, he said the forum also resolved to interface with the president to resolve and secure the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, I want every one of us to pay very good attention to Hope Uzodinma. First of all, let me, not mince word here. I want to make it very, very clear that this is unbelievable. You know why? Because somebody like Hope Uzodinma must not have been the one. Must not, even though Hope, listen, just pay attention, my people. Even though Hope Uzodinma happens to be the so-called, leader of Southeast Governors Forum, yet Hope Uzodinma must not have been the one to read this so-called communique. I will explain. You know why? Number one is that Hope Uzodinma and I want you to pay. I wish you come here with your pen and papers, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu normally say. Number one is that Hope Uzodinma is the worst enemy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Pay attention, my people. I'm taking us somewhere. Hope Uzodinjo, not Uzodinma. Uzodinjo is the worst enemy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So that is number one. Number two, Hope Uzodinjo contributed almost half of the money. You see, Hope Uzodinjo and Nyesom Wike, these are two people who contributed the money, at least 80% of the money spent in kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Hope Uzodinjo, this man, you see, let me call him by his name so that I don't want him to think I'm talking to someone else. I'm talking to Hope Uzodinma. If he has another name, I would have added it. If I know any other of his name, I will add it. Hope Uzodinma and Nyesom Wike contributed 80% of the money used in kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 80%, two of them. Both the bribe received by the DOS, the bribe given to Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the bribe given to some family members of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, including his wife, the bribe given to Kenya government, the bribe given to what was this the Kenyan aviation, the airport officers. Hope Uzodinma and Nyesom Wike contributed 80% of the whole money spent in buying off, settling off these individuals and the organizations that I have mentioned. So, for Hope Uzodinma, this same idiot, this same criminal, 419, to be the one to read out this communique, first of all, it's a big shame. Secondly, to the eyes of everyone, that means that they have succumbed, although that is not the real thing that happened. I'm coming to what happened. I'm coming to what really transpired in the meeting. So, but in the eyes of the world, based on what they have portrayed, let us just use it the way it is, the way it is being watched on television and the way it's being heard by the audio. So, it is a denigration, a disgrace, a downgrade to Hope Uzodinma to be the one to read the communique that they have resolved to interface with the president, Tinubu, to secure the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If he is released, I will be the happiest man on earth. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free today, I myself, Odinanwa, Akodenanwa, Nowea, will be the happiest man on earth. But guess what? This is never the issue. This is never the case. So let's continue. Remember what I told you, that Hope Uzodinma and Nyesom Wike contributed 80% of the money used in kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to remember that. Write it down if you have your pen. So if Hope Uzodinma come out to read this and you believe him, do that at your own peril. Believe him at your own peril. My people, believe Hope Uzodinma at your own peril. They would have given it to somebody like Oti that still has at least small face in the eyes of the people from Abia State. At least onye ka nwere obere iru to the people of Abia, and to some extent the people of the so-called Southeast. Not everybody, but to some extent. Onye ka nwa bụ onye fakara inye ka ọ gụọ enwegodi ndị ya ege ya ntị. At least some people, very few number of people would have listened to him. Not Hope Uzodinma. No way, not Hope Uzodinma onye ori. Ọ bụrụ onye ori ya agwa anyị ụdị okwu anyị egele ya ntị. Never. Now, as if that is not enough, we are going to listen to him. After all the rubbish, we are going to see what the Prime Minister said, and then we will analyze it. Let's continue.
The federal government to secure the release of the pressing issues, all pressing issues concerning the Southeast region. The forum also deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government to secure the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the meeting adjourned whenever.
Now, I want you to focus on the ending part of this very video. Please. I'm going to show you something. I will show you what the Prime Minister said. So, but before showing you that, I want you to focus on the ending part of this video. After that, I will show you what the Prime Minister said. Then we will connect the dot. Please pay attention. Ugo ebelugo na mgbawu. Ugo ebelugo na mgbawu. And remember, there's a word I have told you before. There's a word I have told you before that I got information sometime in the past, few months ago. I got authentic information. I said authentic information that these vultures gathered somewhere in Enugu State, in Owerri, secretly. That one they didn't announce it. They gathered somewhere in Owerri, including some top members of Ohanes and Dioshi. They had closed door meetings, secret meeting, not even closed door meeting, secret meeting without media, no, nothing. Then they agreed not to speak again. Listen, this thing I'm telling you has taken is more than 6 months now. This thing happened early this year, around January. They agreed not to speak again in the public about Simon Ekpa, Biafra agitation, or sit at home. They said, including some members of senators, they're also there. Some members, including Ifeanyi Oba, also was there. They agreed, including this man called, what's the name? That green snake in green grass called Iberibe. They all gathered and agreed not to speak again about sit at home, Biafra agitation, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Mazi Simon Ekpa in the public. According to them, they say, let us speak less and do more. That was the title, the headline, not headline on the news, the headline, the title of that very meeting. Let us speak less and do more, so that they don't know what is in our mind. And do you know the agenda? The agenda was to look for a way, whether by crook or by... Can somebody help me? I want to know how to use that word, whether by crook or by what. By somebody help me in the comment section, please. I want to use that word because that is what they use. That is the word they used. There's this word they normally say, whether by crook or by... I want to remember the last one or the first one before by crook. There's a word in between. They say whether by crook or by that one. If you... whether by hook or by crook. Thank you, my people. Thank you so much. AFB Global, thank you. So thank you, Obina, thank you, Oni, thank you, Tonex, thank you all. They say whether by hook or by crook, we are going to get Simon Ekpa. That was the reason of that meeting. And they all agreed together to speak less and act more. Let us speak less and act more. That was the end of that meeting. And I have told you before, I said it either once or twice. They agreed to get the prime minister, whether by hook or by crook. That is what happened. Now, since then, since that January, this thing happened. I also told the prime minister about this. He told me that he's aware of their plan. Since then, till today, they have till yesterday, they have never spoken about sit at home. They have never spoken about the prime minister. They have never spoken about Nnamdi Kanu. They have never spoken about Biafra. None of them, whether in group or by individual, none of them, I want you to quote me wrong, none of them has ever spoken about anything that has to do with Biafra since January until yesterday. They gave themselves 6 good months. 6 good months. And they all failed. And within these 6 months, they also sent kidnappers to Finland. They failed. They sent suicide bombers to Finland. They failed. They didn't enter. According to the information reaching our prime minister, he let us know that they were stopped at Denmark. They didn't enter Finland. And then they have to go back to the zoo. And the people who sent them, they work hand in hand with the Zoo Janjaweed military. The army now brought members of Boko Haram, asked them to go and, commit suicide in Finland. But they were not allowed to enter. So now they have done everything they could based on their initial plan, and everything failed. Then they came back yesterday to re-strategize. And remember, the other meeting they had, the last meeting they had last year, 2023, not the last meeting, the first meeting they had, 2023, last year, after the selection of these new criminals, the likes of Peter Mba, OT, and we threw them. After the selection of these crooks, now they had meeting and they resolved. They resolved that they are going to go to Abuja and discuss with the president in order to release Nnamdi Kanu. They said it only for us to have information, not even have information, only for one of them to call Mazi Simon Ekpa on phone and told him that, look, we are going to Abuja to bring the hardened military personnel and more hard ways to finish your men. So the earlier you ask them to drop their arms, the better for you. That was the threat. We don't know how they managed to reach the prime minister, whether they call him on phone or because he didn't tell us how they reach him. He never told us. But he told us that one of them reached out to him personally and told him that, look, we are going to Abuja to get more personnel, military personnel, and hardware, and finish up we are going to finish your men. So you better tell them to lay down their arms. You see that? So now that means that thing they told us in the public on television, that they are going to Abuja to ask Mr. President to release Nnamdi Kanu, was fake. It was a fake. It was a fake. And they didn't do anything. They never did anything after that meeting last year. They never done anything. Yes. They went to Abuja. The next thing we saw was military hardware moving down to Imo State, moving down to Anambra State, fighter jet everywhere. The next few days, they were bombarding everywhere. That is when they bombed the second, that is when they threw the second, how do I put it? That is when they bombed that market in Imo State for the second time. Remember, they bombed it the first time when Nnamdi Kanu was free. Now, after that, they are meeting. They bombed that market for the second time. Can somebody remind me the name of that historic market in Imo State? Can somebody remind me the name of that market bombed by the military? They have bombed that market for the second time now, last year. That historic market in Imo State. Something Otutu. Something Otutu there. Something Otutu. I think it's Ekotutu, yeah. Thank you, Ekotutu. That is when they bombed that market for the second time. After that meeting, now, I want you to pay attention to the last word of Hope Uzodimma. Just pay attention. From there, we will see what the Prime Minister said, and then we'll connect the dots. Pay attention, please.
And the meeting adjourned whenever.
Whenever. Now, let's listen to that again, and then we move.
And the meeting adjourned whenever. Thank you.
And then he laughed. Did you pay attention to that? You know, we watch, we listen, and we analyze deeply. Even before we speak, we analyze it already. I want you to pay very good attention to the ending part of this video. And then I will show you what the Prime Minister said. Please keep liking this broadcast and keep sharing it. I want every Biafran to participate on this very broadcast. It's very, very important, because at the end of this very broadcast, we are going to make a pronouncement. Remember that the headline says, our next line of action as Nnamdi Kanu is set to be free. Our next line of action, as Nnamdi Kanu is set to be free. So we are here to make a pronouncement this evening. So everybody must pay very good attention. Now, let us listen to the very ending part of this broadcast. We will see what the Prime Minister said. We'll connect the dot before we move into the next segment of this very broadcast. Now, let us listen to him for the very last time.
Nnamdi Kanu. First, with the federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And the meeting adjourned whenever. Thank you.
Did you see that? I don't know if I can see the video, the one that their face is very, very full, the one that their face is shown. I don't know if I can see the video, that video. There's the other one that their face is shown fully, not from afar. The other video was taken from close range. If I can see the video, so that I want us to see how Hope Uzodimma laughed and made jest of himself and what he said. He thought he's making jest of us, or he's making jest of Nnamdi Kanu. I want us to see how Hope Uzodimma made jest of himself and what he said. How he indirectly told the whole world that do not listen to what I'm saying. Pay attention, my people, because when we listen to what Mazi Samanekpa said concerning this development, then we are going to connect the dot in order for us to understand the meaning of what Hope Uzodinma did at the very, very, very end of his speech. You understand now? He showed, or he told everybody, look, listen to what I said at your own peril. Listen, just pay attention. Just pay very, very good attention. This is very, very important. I want to bring the other video very, very close to the screen for you to see how Hope Uzodinma made jest of himself. And then I will show you what the Prime Minister said will now connect the dot. This is very, very, very important because a lot of people are not paying attention to this. A lot of people are not paying attention to this. I have watched some videos online. People are analyzing it. They are analyzing it. They are saying all sorts of things. They are jubilating. The governors have done very, very good. They have come out, to fight for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And some people who are doing this analysis are also Biafrans. They are also Biafrans. Yes, I think I've seen the video here. Very, very important. Yes, I've seen the video. So now I want us to see from a close range shot how Hope Uzodinma made jest of himself, thinking that he's confusing the gullible. After showing you that, we will now see what the Prime Minister said, and then we will analyze it properly. We're not going to take your time. We are going to analyze it properly to understand what is going on. Anybody taking these criminals seriously, then you are deceiving yourself. You are just wallowing in periphery. I'm telling you, you are deceiving yourself. You don't even understand what is going on. Now, I want us to watch this. Pay very good attention. This is a video shot from close range. See what Hope Uzodinma did here.
And agreed to implement the aspects of the report pertaining to security and economic integration of the region.
No, Hope Uzodinma did not laugh here. He didn't laugh here.
So deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government.
No, he didn't laugh here. Okay, no need, no problem. No problem about that. Now, what are we trying to say? Let me show you the response or the reaction from the Prime Minister, Mazi Samanekpa, and after that, we will come back. We will now connect the dots. Remember his last word, and the meeting adjourned whenever. That is on seriousness. I want you to hold that. I want you to hold it. That is on seriousness. That has literally rendered every single thing that he said useless. Pay attention, my people. Very, very important. He said, and the meeting adjourned whenever. He laughed. Right? Meaning that, take what I have said, take what I have said seriously at your own peril. That is exactly what Hope Uzodinma means. And then that brings us to another question. So, if that be the case, what have they gone there to do? If that be the case, what have they gone there to do? If Hope Uzodinma laughed, smiled, and said the meeting adjourned till whenever, meaning take what I have said for serious at your own peril. Now, so the question is, what was the meeting all about? Now, according to what the Prime Minister said, he said, Intel, let it be on record that the meeting these criminals did in Enugu State has nothing to do with the release of Nnamdi Kanu. It was about sending suicide bombers to Finland for the 5th time. Are you paying attention, my people? Are you going to doubt it? Will you doubt it? Will you doubt it? Doubt it at your own peril. He said, let it be on record that the meeting held in Enugu State by these criminals has absolutely nothing to do with the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And you know what? It is not a new thing. That's why we can never doubt this intel. They have had this similar meeting before last year. At least the one we see in the public. Apart from the one they did secretly, which they concluded to speak less and act more. Apart from that one, which happened January this year. They have had other they have had a similar meeting to this in Enugu State at the Lion House, Enugu State. We all know that. We all saw it last year. They said they will go to Abuja to meet president to release Nnamdi Kanu. And then the next thing we saw was military hardware moving down to the east. The next thing we saw, Ekotutu was bombed for the second time. The next thing we saw, Soludo began to make noise, bragging and, making noise. How he's going to do this and do that. Because of what? They have given them more manpower, which is the military hardware and more military personnel. So if they tell you we are going to interface with the federal government to release, it's a lie. Look at the sole target here. Remember, I have told you, they said, we will bring him whether by hook or by crook. That is the same thing they did to Nnamdi Kanu. And they succeeded in Nnamdi Kanu because Nnamdi Kanu is a very, no matter he's a very, a strong person, but he has a very, very soft heart. You don't know. Nnamdi Kanu has a very, very soft heart. Nnamdi Kanu cannot even hurt a fly. Nnamdi Kanu cannot hurt a fly. Therefore, he trusted almost everybody who came close to him. He trusted almost everybody. And he never done anything without even contacting all those criminals around him then. That's why they told him somebody's coming, somebody high profile United Nations personnel is coming to discuss with you in Kenya. And he agreed. He never knew that the high profile United Nations personnel who was coming to have a discussion with him over Biafra was the DSS in collaboration with Kenya government and their security personnel. So that is why they got him. Unlike Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is also a military man, who served Finnish military. You understand? So they are not in the same form, in the same category. And again, Nnamdi Kanu, another reason they got Nnamdi Kanu is because Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen, and he couldn't have done what he wanted to do, and do it while he is in a safe place in Britain, in United Kingdom. He couldn't have done it successfully in the UK. It's not possible because UK is milking the zoo. UK is milking the zoo, and you still want to be in their land to stop them from making the zoo. It's not going to happen. Rather, they will still break the international law the same way the zoo broke it and make sure that they silence you. That is what happened. That's why Nnamdi Kanu had to leave UK, because his security was never guaranteed in the United Kingdom as a United Kingdom citizen. fighting to break up the zoo. It's not going to happen. So now, that is the reason why these are the factors, the things that played key role in the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Samanekpa is not like that. Mazi Samanekpa is a Finnish citizen, and Finland is under European Union. They understand what freedom fight is all about. And now the UK, which is the link the zoo have to Europe, the link the zoo government has to the European Union is United Kingdom. And now United Kingdom has shot themselves in the foot by exiting the United Kingdom. And they did not exit, with clean heart. They exited the European Union when the European Union was even begging them not to leave. But they left because they believe that other small countries in European Union are not contributing much. So they are contributing money to fund other European Union, other small European countries. That's why they cannot continue. They left. They begged them, they never agreed, they left. So now the other countries in European Union are not even happy with the United Kingdom. A lot of people are not aware of this. They are not happy with the UK because of the way UK left the European Union, and there is no going back. UK can never go back to European Union because of Biafra. It is not possible. So now that link has been broken completely. UK cannot speak to Germany. UK cannot speak to France. UK cannot speak to Finland. It is finished. Anybody thinking that there's any possibility the zoo to rendition Samanekpa to the zoo, it is done and dusted. That the rope has been broken. There is nothing. That is the reason why they are strategizing. They are running helter-skelter, because the only link they have is UK, and UK cannot speak to any of these countries. I don't know if you're paying attention. Akawola. Aya agbajiela fa aka. Anya agbajigo zoo. Anya apewago zoo azo. Anya pewali zoo azo. Somebody said I'm watching from Finland. Please, can you confirm what I'm saying? That Brambaz said I'm watching from Finland. Can you confirm what I'm saying? I Piawalu Zoo azo completely is finished for the zoo. Aka will go fanisi. Oku di over. Okundi zoo and you go completely. Now you see, so there is no connection. The only connection they had is broken completely. That's why they are sending suicide bombers. They are sending kidnappers. They are looking for a way to lay their filthy hands on Mazi Samanekpa. But it's not going to happen. It's not possible. Because of what? The UK is completely crippled. Their hands are tied. No way. There is no space for deliberation, no space for lobbying. They can't lobby any country in European Union as it stands today. It's finished for them. Done and dusted. Mobloko one criminal. You see? So when you hear, we are negotiating, we are going to Abuja to negotiate with the Mr. President, they are not done yet. These people believe that they have army, they have police, they have guns, they have everything. They are not done yet. They have armor tank, they have private jet. They are not done yet. We know when they will be. We know. Let me tell you the truth. We know when these people will be tired. They believe they are the government. They believe that they are the government. So we know when they will be tired. That's why we are not in a hurry. We are not in a rush. You see what we did? We have sat down and reasoned what is our problem. We have seen our problem. We sat down again and asked, how do we deal with this problem? We have found out, we have fashioned a way, we have built a mechanism to fight our problem, and that is what we are doing. We are hitting the hammer on top of the nail, directly on top of the nail. So we are tackling our problem. That very problem, that very sickness is what we are drinking medicine for. We are taking injection for that particular sickness. We are not doing experiment. We have done experiment during IPOB regime, during IPOB one family of a thing. Now we have sat down after the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. We asked ourselves, what is really our problem? We are shouting Biafra, Biafra, freedom, 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 IPOB one family. What do we really want? We sat down. We said, okay, this is our I join your committee. Where chopote eben sobu ani si where the eben sobu ani no. I was say, okay, so this is our problem. Let us minimize every other thing. Can I fight Kennedy's problem? That's why I tell everybody, look, we have men on ground. Men are there. In thousands, we have men. If I need funding, steady funding, now pump go. If this man need equipment, can we tackle our problem? We have singled out our problem. We don't care about other side distractions. We have singled out our problem and we are tackling that problem head on. And because we have noticed our problem and we are fighting that singular problem, that is the reason why you see all these escalations. You see everybody, all of them running helter skelter. Muhammad Musa has run to South Africa begging for help.